I keep telling everyone, I left here 53 years ago, and I still tell people this is home. I still get a little emotional talking about the children's home. And I don't apologize for being emotional about it, because it was a place where children knew every day that we were going to be cared for, we were going to be fed, our spiritual needs were going to be taken care of. If we need counsel or guidance or support in any way, it was there. We never went to bed wondering, what the next day was going to be like or where we would be. And so whether it was physical, emotional, spiritual needs, those needs were taken care of.
Providing love, care, and hope in Christ for children and families has been the heart and mission of the Louisiana Baptist Children's Home and Family Ministries for 125 years. From Pastor William Cooksey's compassionate vision to start an orphanage in 1899 to the first donation of a silver dollar by 14-year-old Jim Bowen, Louisiana Baptists have continued their time-honored commitment of meeting needs and changing lives through the Christ-centered ministries of their children's home. Beginning as a Louisiana Baptist orphanage, our first matron, Mrs. Kate Hawkins, cared for 3 little girls in a borrowed Keachai College building in 1900. In 1903, we settled into our first permanent facility in Lake Charles. In 1925, under the visionary leadership of Frank Daddy Flowers, we moved to our current Monroe campus, chartered a new name, Louisiana Baptist Children's Home, and developed a new and innovative approach to child care ministry.
When Mother left, that first night was hard. I started crying when I went to sleep, and it was about 9 girls in one room. And so they heard me crying. I tried to keep it so they wouldn't hear me, but they did. So they went and told Miss Wirt, who was the house parent. And soon she was sitting on my bed telling me that I would soon make a lot of friends and be happy, and I wouldn't be lonesome, And she pointed to a picture that was on the wall that showed a couple of children over a broken bridge over this raging water underneath. And there was an angel hovering over them. And she says, God has given you a little angel to watch over you. And he will help you not to be lonely. And so, but she was right. Soon after that, I did make lots of friends. And I wasn't lonely, and I was very happy. And that was very meaningful to me.
A relationship with Jesus is important to the children who live here because they're not able to control their circumstances that brought them here, and so they can have peace in knowing Jesus. And I know that the ideals and principles that I as a Christian strive to adhere to today are a result of the things that were taught me and instilled in me and expected of me as I lived here. And being able to work here later helped me in a way give back and express through that working an appreciation for what I had received as a child.
So I lived in 2 different cottages. So the first one I lived in Feasel, and that's where I stayed on through high school. And I was really close with my cottage parents then, Tom and Reba O'Neill, and they became really like parent figures. He actually was one of the men that walked me down the aisle here at the chapel. Every night we would have devotions. We'd go around the table and say, what was the best part of your day? Or, what is, things like that. And so that's really important in shaping someone in their relationship with God, and then me modeling that with my family now, with my husband and young daughter. And so it's just the example that sticks with you. I came here as a young child. I was 4 years old, so this really became my life. I felt like I was more a lucky or more blessed child because I didn't have those hardships that some kids may have had when they came and say at 13. And so really seeing some of these kids being saved from these traumatic home lifestyles. So really God was able to, rescue them, and this was really a place of refuge and hope and peace for them.
I wouldn't take anything for my time here at the children's home. Nothing. I don't know what it would have been like if I hadn't come here, but I'm sure it's made all the difference in my life. I am called at my church Most Blessed One, and that's the way I sign everything. They know who that is, and so I'm Most Blessed One. That's me.
We celebrate God's goodness and His faithful provision and protection. Through the Mississippi River flood, the stock market crash and the Great Depression, 2 world wars, fires, hurricanes, and tornadoes, God's sufficient grace and the sacrificial giving of Louisiana Baptist and Friends have sustained us. We remain strong in demonstrating Christ's unconditional love to children and families in crisis. We have responded to the emerging needs of our society and transitioned from a self-contained orphanage to the Christ-centered, family-focused services of today. And we honor our past while celebrating our present and planning for the future.
Well, in 125 years, the Children's Home has changed from being just a one-trick pony to multiple kinds of ministry. It has grown, it has evolved, and it has become an instrument of reconciliation for people all over the state. And of course, even when I was here at the Children's Home, I would go speak at a church about the Children's Home, and every church I went into had at least somebody who had lived at the Children's Home, or who had parents who worked at the Children's Home, or they knew somebody who was influenced by the Children's Home, everywhere I ever went. But now it's even more spread out. There's more things going on. The ministry of the Children's Home is not just about children, it's about helping families to stay together and work to become stronger units of encouragement and help.
In my job, I had the opportunity to visit throughout the state with the Friends of Louisiana Baptist Children's Home. And Louisiana Baptist and other people, other friends, have made it possible through the years for us to offer all these things to our children. And they continue to do that today through their donations, through sacrificing of coming in and helping with different things.
We recognize and express gratitude to our staff members who serve children and families daily, our friends who offer prayers and financial support, and the great cloud of witnesses who have gone before us.
Over the years, the ministry of the Children's Home has changed, expanded, has grown to meet needs, because needs have changed over the last 50, 60 years. And so it's wonderful to see the compassion ministries that the Children's Home is entering into, Hope House for whether it's families, single moms with children that need the care, whether it's the foster care ministry that the Children's Home and adoption ministry that the Children's Home is involved in now. It's fantastic, but it all started with that foundation that was started almost 125 years ago, and has just been consistent all these years. And as the Lord leads in this ministry, there's no telling what the ministry is going to be in years to come.
If I could sit and talk with each of you, my first and last words would be thank you. Thank you for providing children with a loving, caring Christian home. Thank you for providing homeless children and their mothers with that same love and care. Thank you for providing professional Christian counseling for hundreds of families across the state through our Granbury Counseling Center. Thank you for supporting Baptist foster and adoptive families through our Connect One Child ministry. Thank you for meeting essential life needs and sharing the gospel with economically challenged children and their families through our Compassion for Kids and our Regional Compassion Center. Thank you for providing women in our community with job and life skills through our Women's Learning Center. Thank you for giving abandoned children in Haiti a Christian home through Orphans Embrace. Thank you so much.